Good evening, everybody. Welcome to another edition of Wizards Outlook, joined by Raymond Lyons, Colonel W. Jr., Wilson Tarpe Jr., and as always, before we talk about the Wizards, quick word from our folks over at Who's in Oz. Sorry, catfish dinner served fried, grilled, or blackened, 19.95 with two sides, 15.95 a la carte. Get over to oozinaz.com to see the menu, hours, and more. Order from the Georgia Avenue location today. Man, we see some of y'all in the comments off the early. We'll get to you towards the end of it. Appreciate y'all for tuning in. Ray, I guess it's your turn to go first. You
Yeah,
guys can
please.
see the you guys can see the ticker. If you already watched it, you know, Maya, thanks for joining early, amongst other people. We see you already. Just hold on, we'll get to your comments later. Uh, the Pacers and the Wizards, their third consecutive loss. These last three games have almost been written to a particular script. And floor is yours, Ray.
Yeah, man, I don't know where to begin. Uh, th- some soul searching need to go on. Somebody's got to take control of this situation, man, because they just out there doing whatever. Um, yeah, man, another slow start with 18 points in the first quarter tonight. That's just not gonna get it done. Uh, Gav was in early foul trouble again, and I think that hurts them tremendously because he's not even on the floor long enough to set a tone or anything defensively. Um, then they bring Trez in off the bench, but he's not the run protector that Gaff is. So is really no fear. Once they get him his two early fouls and get him on the bench, then man, it's open season at the rim. So he's got to figure that out, man. But on the flip side of that, he's got to get some support. Like if he has to make a play at the rim every play on defense because people can't guard, then this is gonna be the result. So yeah, something's got to give, man. They started off another stagnant performance on offense. They eventually got it going. Um, but initially it wasn't a lot of ball movement, and that just when you don't move the ball and you don't move bodies, you don't get easy shots. So it's poor shot selection, which led to the poor offensive showing in the first quarter. They eventually turned around offensively, but they wasted the performance. They shot 53% from the field, 46.7% from three, 81% from the line, but they couldn't get stops and they didn't take care of the ball. So and that's game right there. They lost by six. I mean, the slow start and then the turnovers, and not only turnovers, but a lot of live ball turnovers that led directly to fast break layups. They got to stop that, man. Then the one play where I forgot to pass it to him, but Trez was being defended out on the perimeter by Sabonis. Sabonis jumped the pass and knocked it out of bounds, and he didn't get the steal. But Trez is like, I mean, he's going to jump that. So you just got to think, man, and have your head in the game. It's that type of stuff right there, man, that leads to the type of slide we see the Wizards on. Just people not in tune, people not paying attention to detail, and I mean, until they fix it, they gonna keep losing. I'm just waiting for somebody to care enough to get mad. It just seems like everybody's just accepting their fate at this point. Brad, he had a good game, 12 for 19, 34 points. He was a little more aggressive than he had been showing, but it's it's starting to be alarming to me that he only has these types of performances when Dinwiddie's out. We both of them need to be performing at their optimum level to maximize this team, man. Like you can't just be your old 30 points per game self when the starting point guard is not there. That defeats the purpose, man. So they got to figure that out. They got a lot to figure out. That 10-3 start, that new shine is worn off completely. They're in the slide right now, 3 games in a row. Um, they need to get back to what they were doing to be successful. The defensive drop off has just been embarrassing. Even it was never perfect on that end, but they started the season at least respectable. Like is non-existent now. They look like the Wizards from last year. People out of place, people not trusting each other. Um, people being soft. Is all that stuff is resurfaced. So yeah, man. I don't know. I don't know what the answer is. Because it's puzzling because we've seen what they're capable of, and the fact that it's just regressed this much and that quickly. Like, yeah, I don't know, but they better figure it out soon because it's not gonna get any easier. Like we said last time, they get one home game out the next 10, so and they're not good on the road, so they got to figure this out and quickly. So yeah, man, I'm anxious to see what happens moving forward.
Cardell.
They turned the ball over, like Ray said, and they kind of gave Indiana early momentum, got them in the rhythm offensively, and then you compound it with they just couldn't guard anybody. Like the Pacers had 6 players, finished with 6 players in double figures, obviously led by Sabonis, 30 points. He was 11 of 15, though. Like y'all NBA players too. I understand. Look, he's an all-star caliber big. I get it, but you shouldn't be 11 to 15. You shouldn't be 11 to 15 in the game, though. Like you gotta give him some resistance, man. Like that's damn near he just ain't. That's like drills, you know what I'm saying, in a real live game, and he didn't have any resistance and nobody to stop him, man. And it wasn't just him, LeVert had his way, Brogdon, the rookie Duarte, Brissett. You see what I'm saying? Like Lamb, like Brissett 4 for 6, Duarte 4 for 8, LeVert 9 for 18, Brogdon 6 for 13. All these dudes shot 50% or better. That's no resistance. That means nobody guarded. You're not gonna win like that, man. And we can sit up here and just say the same old thing, man. But it's about pride, And right now, at the end of the game, and I know y'all saw this, at the end of the game when they was pressing, just trying to get steals to try to close the gap and stuff like that. Why did they look like they was playing with an entirely different sense of urgency than the entire rest of the game prior to that? Why don't you play with that type of urgency from the jump? Then you won't be in a position late in the game where you have to play with that urgency. It's not hard. And I look at a lot of different things and stuff. I don't just look at the skill and all that. Like I look at body language and all that. Aaron Holiday got the steal. He scored at the end of the game. When he knew the game was a wrap, he just walked right to the locker room. This is his former team, so I know he was motivated to stick it to him. He actually competed. You know what I mean? It's just, and he always gives it his all. He always competes. Like I said, defense is the family business. He's not necessarily the problem. You know what I mean? But he's disgusting because he's like, I'm the only one out here really scrapping on the perimeter. Gafford is giving you energy inside, but when he's picking up, fouls because he every time he turn around, it's a guard on his back and he got to try to protect the rim and stuff. He's picking up fouls and all that. I understand why he's in foul trouble. I understand why he would get frustrated, even though he may not show it. Bill had a good game offensively, but LeVert took it to him. Let's call it what it is. He was cooking him. You know what I'm saying? And he didn't even need to. He didn't even have to. And the sad part is, Miles Turner didn't even look to be aggressive offensively because he didn't need to. All he was doing was blocking shots and altering everything else. He just focused on defense in this game because that's all he needed to do. Like, why I'm a force when everybody else on my team got it going? Let me do what I do and make sure we get this W. Because they were 4-game losing streak coming in or something like that. So, yeah, do what we need to do to get back on the winning track.
Oh, yeah.
It's just about them. I don't want to hear nothing about Unseld first year. These guys have been playing basketball their entire lives. You have to play defense. You have to communicate. Certain things you have to do to win games. This is not a young team. This is a veteran team. They got to do what they got to do, man. And, like I said yesterday, some serious uncomfortable conversations. Forget like waiting to have them. They need to be having that in the locker room or on the plane. You know what I'm saying? Otherwise, Wednesday, it's going to get real. Because you can't lose to Detroit. Like, that's rock bottom, though. No disrespect. We got some DMV guys over there rooting for them, all that. But they one of the worst teams in the league. You lose to Detroit, Yeah, like it's woof. So they got to look in the mirror, and mostly I'm looking at the perimeter defenders, whatever. Not named Aaron Holiday and Caldwell Pope, but everybody else, because they right now everybody else food.
Yeah, I think you guys said it perfectly. Like I think the thing that killed me was it was literally the same script to start the game. 3 consecutive games the exact same way. I get it if you were a young team, you know, it's youth and all that stuff, like you guys both alluded to. This is not what that is. It was no it's trying to think of the right way to say it. There's no this it's unacceptable to come out a third straight game with these guys having experience in the league that they have this slow and with literally no sense of urgency. You lost 2 games in a row. We continually talk about what the standings are. And you've played the Pacers already. You know what you're getting into. It's not a shock. It's not like you're not familiar with them or whatever. The first time they you guys saw Miles Turner aired you out from the beginning of the game into the end. Like that one, at least I could maybe wrap my head around there. Like he had a night that night. Today, Miles Turner was just like, yeah, I got him. I'm just gonna patrol this painted area, shut all this stuff down. And Sabonis did what he wanted. Sabonis loves playing the Wizards. He's another one of those guys. There's a list of people. Domantas Sabonis, and I need to go back to find out if Pops liked playing Washington too. I really want to know. But as soon as Domantas sees Washington, 30, like he just knows it's 30. Like Cardell said, Ray and I were talking, and Cardell, you mentioned this now before we started. The man had 30 on 11 or 15 as a post player. And yeah, I know he can step out and hit threes. Guess one of his 4 misses was the long 3-point attempt that he took tonight. So it's not like it's one of the nights where, like, we've seen nights again where him and Miles get the whole game is on display. Man, Domantas took 1 3 and sat, and we all knew where he spent the night. He's on that low block and sat in the paint the entire game going to work. 8 free throws. He didn't leave. And Ray, like you mentioned, Carter, you mentioned as well. Again, 3 straight games where opposing teams, hey, look, get two fouls on Gaff, get him out of there. We can do whatever we want in the paint. Because that's the lone deterrent down there. That's it. And again, the perimeter players aren't helping where it's Olay. Here, Gaff. One dude can't protect the entire paint every possession for 12 minutes. Is one like, yeah, he's athletic as hell, but what you can't ask that of somebody, man. And then yet again, this is not the first and second time this season. We see another team where every perimeter starter just had a night. Not just the starters, but the bench. Like comfortably unbothered. Even like LeVert, some of the shots that he missed. I would love to say like he was bothered or something like that. Not really. Duarte had his normal, comfortable, super productive night as a rookie. He was unbothered the first time they met. He continued to be unbothered in this game as well. And O'Shea Brissett, I guess he likes it. You can add him to the list that I like seeing the Wizards too. He came in this game immediately was like, I'm in, coach. Let's open this thing up. Like what is this? Is disheartening? And like you guys said, man, I don't know how many other ways. Like something got to give. And like you guys mentioned, it was cool to see Brad have 30, and that's great, man. But I don't really care because you showed us last year and year before you can score whenever you want to. So I don't really care about that part. But let's go back to the things we've been asking for, the last couple of years. Move your feet on defense. We saw you for a brief stretch. What was it? Making the Olympic team and everything else. You're capable of sliding them feet on the end of the floor. Do it for your NBA team. He's not the only one, but like you guys said, this is Aaron Holiday, KCP, Raul Neto, willing to move their feet on defense on the perimeter, and that's about it. It's crazy. Then the other thing, like, Cardell, there's a discussion, you, Ray, we've been having for a couple of years. Everybody loves switching everything else. Y'all don't have to switch everything because when you switch everything against teams with 2 bigs, what the hell are you doing? And the Pacers they ran their offense, so they was like, word? That's Sabonis down there with a baby? Here, stop what you're doing. Here. Oh, that's Miles Turner down there with a kid. Okay, like, what do you think's going to happen? And again, what we were just talking about with the Gaffer thing, he's not in there, man. That big rolling rim protector, it's just fouls. Like, what are you going to do? Where Neto's stuck on Sabonis down there. Beal's stuck on Sabonis. It's only ended one way. It's either he gets 2 and then 3 because you tried to foul him, but he's too strong. And he's going to hit the free, or you prevent him from making prevent him from scoring initially. Then he goes to the line, and again, he's 8-8. Like, again, like Tuco was just said, you can't lose to Detroit on Wednesday. And then that's flown into a home game against the Jazz. You know what they got patrolling they paint.
Look, man, they played defense at the beginning of the season because it was fresh. They were excited. It was the beginning of the season, new team, new coach. Yay. You know what I'm saying? But defense is hard work. It's hard. It takes its toll. But it's necessary to win. You know what I'm saying? And it's like similar to football. You got to get hit so your body get used to being hit, taking hits. And then you can play football. It's the same thing in basketball. So you asking guys that it's, you know, when they started the season, they did it. But we've been saying since then, slowly but surely, they started defending less and less and less and less consistent to the point now it's just looking like the last couple years. You feel what I'm saying? Because the legs getting tired, they missing a couple shots, and now they starting to take a break on the defense end, which is what a lot of these players in the NBA in this era do. And then they wonder why they're so up and down. Like the thing you hear from a lot of people is where they're going to get tired. You're supposed to be tired at the end of the game. Like, why? What are you conserving energy for? That's my point. You know what I'm saying? They worry about being burned out for 82 games or whatnot. I mean, like, I don't know what to tell you, dog. That's just the job description. You know what I'm saying? If anything, rest on offense. Let somebody else rock. You know what I mean? But you can't afford to rest on defense because you're dealing with all-world players. It's the league, man. And it don't take much for a team to figure you out and then just exploit whatever you're doing wrong or wherever you're weak at. And this is what they're doing. Like, guys like Bertans and them, they couldn't even get on the floor because they would have to guard Sabonis, and Sabonis already had it going. Like, we ain't even gonna do that. You know what I'm saying? That's just gonna be extra fouls on top of what Gafford doing. And I love Gafford's energy, but yeah, it's true. He gotta play smarter. He picks up a lot of silly fouls, overdoing it. Like, dog, I get you. I get it. You may want to contest to get the block, but man, when they already up there, you know you're not gonna. The chances of you getting up there is not high. Just let them. All right, you win this one. You got it. Y'all executed. Y'all got us. And then just try to limit the rest of the game. But they need you, bro, because truth be told, right now, you're the only true big. Trez is an undersized big. He'll go down there and give you everything he got, but he's still 6'7". You know what I mean? And against, guys like Sabonis and Miles, something that's tough for him, man. That's tough. It's just tough. It's just no disrespect. Yeah, a player with size, if you get like a guard, you know what I'm saying, they got all the skill in the world, talent, athleticism. But if you get somebody 6'10" that has the same skill and athleticism talent, you're always going to go with the taller player because they can do more. They can do what you do, but more because they're bigger. It's just, like KD, he's not the first guy that can shoot and score and all that, man. What makes him otherworldly is he's 6'11", 7 feet doing that, dog. Like, it's like, what the hell? It's a cheat code. So that's what you have, man. He's undersized. You can't expect him to outplay 2 7-footers. That's tough. You know what I mean? So, look, saw the post-game show. TB said he's close to returning than people think, which is great news because they can use him bad. They need another big, man. They need help, dog, inside because teams are eating. And it's just weird how we look across the league and it's like, damn. Majority of teams got like 2 bigs you got to deal with now. Just overnight, it's like, what the hell is going on? Especially in the East. And the East is mean. Like, you gotta get out the East out there, dog. So, but at the end of the day, it doesn't matter how many bigs you have, man. The guys on the perimeter, they gotta keep that man in front of them. At least stop the first move. LeVert was just first step shot, no resistance. It's just, man. It's one thing not to hit shots. That's one thing, but it's really bad when you can't defend, man. It's just, it ain't nothing to be said. It's just ugly.
So, again, not to be the bearer of bad news, but these are the things that we've been talking about while they've been busy losing and dropping games. This is a 3-game losing streak. As of tonight, we'll see what happens. I don't know if Boston's playing tonight or not. Washington's dropped to 5th. They're now 14-11. Literally just one game up. They're a half a game up over Boston right now. Man, in the last 10, they're 4-6. Keep in mind, this is some of the things that have been happening in the East while during the midst of this Washington losing streak. The Bucks are 9-1 during their last 10. So remember, they were going through some things because they were missing some starters or whatever. Yeah, people came back. They're still the Bucks. So they're surging their way back up to where they belong in the league. Brooklyn lost a game to the second team in the standings, the Chicago Bulls. So shocker, Brooklyn remained where they were. The Bulls are still where they are. And, pesky old Cleveland, man, Cleveland is also a half game back of Washington. We talked about this crap last year about dropping games that you need at the beginning of the year and how it affects you. And again, on the road as of right now, you get 8-3 at home, 6-8 on the road. In the midst of a long stretch of no home games. Like you guys mentioned, you got a home game this weekend, but it's against the Jazz. That's not a fun home game to have. With how you're currently playing, that's not fun. And again, and this is not a knock on Gav or Trez or anything else. Man, that's Rudy Gobert down there come Saturday. So all that lob and all that other, y'all have to play defense. There needs to be such an urgency and for the love of God, take care of the ball. Like tonight, I think it was a code. This is in the first quarter. It was 3:44 left in the first quarter. Somebody called a timeout. They went to commercial. They came back. A minute 5 of gameplay occurred. 11-0 run, Indiana. All fueled by turnovers.
Yeah.
And I hadn't forgot it because I was literally, it scarred in my brain, seared. An 11-0 run in a minute 3. There's only one way it happens, and it's you're giving the ball to the other team. It was a minute. So someone who loves math, you can do math, 24 seconds of shot clock. People take turns having possessions. It was 63 seconds, 11-0 run. But all right, as always, we got to get to who you guys have as player of the game today. Look, again, I have to ask it. So
Arvidas Sabonis, huh?
I'm gonna say pop, son. All right, Ray. I think everyone's in agreement here.
Yeah, absolutely. He destroyed them.
All right, this one should be fun because there's 19 different choices. X Factor.
The others, like
yeah. I'm gonna just say Brogdon because he was working on the triple double, 17, 8, and 6. So I'm gonna say him, but yeah, Ray ain't mine.
He not.
Coaching staff included Rick Carlisle, GM, the owner, the entire organization.
All right, we'll get to these comments before we get out of here. Oh my God, man! Just said the others as a whole. Somebody said, "This is from Maya from early on. Pacers were lucky with all the bounces at the rim. Maybe they fought for it, but still, they had a lot of offensive rebounds at a very bad time. The refs are not allowing the Wizards to challenge. During that was a huge 2 points. You guys."
I mean, wasn't lucky. They just outplayed them. I mean, it is what it is, man. It wasn't no resistance. Like Sabonis was cleaning up a lot. Then like the ones that were tipped out in the 50-50 balls, they just beat them to it. So I wouldn't necessarily call that luck. But yeah, they got a lot of offensive rebounds. Like that's not their fault. Like they're not supposed to let the Wizards get the ball. So they just got to, man. They got to do better. And it shouldn't even come down to depending on the refs to allow you to challenge. Like that's irrelevant to me, man. Like that, the refs are always the last people I'm looking at in regards to the outcome of a game. Like I get it, sometimes calls don't go your way, but you gotta look past that and just play basketball, man. If you handle business, 9 times out of 10, the refs can't deter what you're trying to do. The refs ain't hurt the Pacers, so So yeah, we gotta let that go.
DeMontis said he disagrees. There was several calls he was not in favor of. I had also from High So Sloppy again, specifically the first half, which I think we kind of already discussed. KCP was solid, had a couple of reckless passes, turnovers, etc. What's the deal here and how can it be fixed? I think she's just talking about their sloppy play overall and inability to take care of the ball.
They just got to make better decisions. You know what I'm saying? Guys got to be where they need to be and stop, you know, overplaying on both ends, overplaying what they need to be doing. And that's what I mean by this, is there's no trust. That's what when you try to overcompensate for what other players doing instead of just doing your job. It's a trickle down effect because then the next man got overcompensated to cover up for you, and it never ends well. And that's what you're seeing, especially on defense, man. So how can it be fixed? Guys just have to just do their job consistently, and then the trust will naturally grow from there. Because right now there's none of it. You know, only thing with this team we can trust is right now they're not gonna play defense, and Bill's capable of scoring 30. You know, I'm just giving it a buck. You know, Gav and Trey's gonna have a few dunks. That's it.
Ray, did you have anything to add, or we moving on?
We can move on.
From Toothpick, what happened to the defense and why the Wizards hesitated to shoot?
It's them dog days, man. like Adele said in the beginning of the season, it was new. You know, still had that new car smell. They was fresh, but now they're in the thick of it. You know, they done had some stretches where they playing 5 games in 7 days. They on a tough road trip right now, and they're losing. And teams around them are getting into their groove and getting stronger. So it's getting tougher, and it's catching up, man. And for the most frustrating part about it is this is a veteran team.
Mm-hmm.
You know, that's like if these were a bunch of youngins, it would be different. I mean, it's still unacceptable no matter what, but at the very least, you can say that this is all new to them and it's still a learning curve. There's enough guys on here with enough experience as the way this shouldn't be happening this way. So yeah, they gotta look in the mirror and figure this out, man.
No, it's just like you said, defense, man. Defense. I keep saying it's just tough. It's tough. It's tough. Look, man, you like Ray said, when you playing 4 games in 6 nights, and Wes Unseld is demanding you really play defense, like real help and all that, legs burning. What are we? 20 some games, 25 games in. Yeah, and you asking some dudes to play defense who haven't done it in years, if in their careers. And they legs burning, they miss a few shots, they tired, winded. They like, hold on, this is not what I signed up for. You know what I'm saying? But you're talking about you want to win. So what's it gonna be? Now, if you used to playing defense like Aaron Holiday, it's business as usual. Raul Neto, business as usual. Gafford is business as usual. But there's a lot of guys on this team that wasn't a calling card, and you seen it come to fruition. And teams are usually picking on those guys. You know what I'm saying? So that's what I mean. It becomes about pride, getting low, moving your feet, being in position, just contesting. You know, prior to this losing streak, the Wizards was up there as one of the best defensive teams that defended the 3. The last few games, teams are shooting like 39, 40% from 3 against them. They're bombing them. So that tells me they're not even in sync. They're not helping. They're not contesting. They're not getting out. They're a step slow. It's just defensively nothing's there, and they just hoping for miracles from Gafford to block everybody. You know what I'm saying? And that's just not realistic. You know what I'm saying? Even though Gafford's athletic and stuff like that, this man ain't Bill Russell or Mutombo. You know what I'm saying? It ain't, and even then they gonna get mad. You know what I'm saying? It's just. And I feel for him. They lucky he a nice guy because he got every right to be cussing them out. Like, man, what the fuck? Do something, help me out, dog. You know what I'm saying? It's like it's just real. So until that happens, guys take pride on the perimeter. Yeah, you're gonna be asking a lot what happened to the defense.
I think we touched on this a little bit earlier. I think everyone agreed he has to play smarter. And again, perimeter players need to play their role. Like you know what he means. Stay in front of your man. Like we're gonna keep coming back to this part because it's kind of a big deal. You went from near the top of the league, as we just mentioned, and defending the three, which is huge in today's game, to now you're getting aired out by almost everybody. Teams that can both shoot well and don't shoot well because they're comfortable. They're comfortable, unbothered, taking comfortable in rhythm threes where before you were making people uncomfortable and then you're pushing them to your shot blocker who's ready for them versus you're at the mercy of perimeter players in today's game, which like it's tough for a big as is. What do you guys think, Wes and the coaches are telling the players after these couple of games? Do you think they will make some changes in the lineup?
Well, I don't know what he's telling them, but he already did. He put he gave Kispert Bertans minutes. He put Denny at point for a stretch. Like he's experimenting. So that tells you he's fed up. You know what I'm saying? Like that's the thing about having a new coach. He like, look, like we said this from jump. Outside of Brad, everybody else, this is a trying period, dog. You know what I'm saying? Like Wes Unseld, like, yo, that's y'all mains. You know what I'm saying? I'm just getting to know these dudes. I don't know them like that. So they gotta show me something, dog. Like, or I'm gonna be looking elsewhere. It's just real. And I think guys got comfortable when they started winning. And they thought it was sweet. Meanwhile, other teams were trying to find their groove, got off to a slow start. Then they got their rhythm. And what we always say, the scouting report has caught up to everybody. So now, can you perform with everybody's aware of what you do? And right now, they're showing that they can't.
And don't forget, reinforcements are on the way. Why he started to tinker like at the exact time that some people are getting closer to being available.
And they feel that. And they feel that they feel it. They know.
And those minutes are let's say, again, we said this other night, at one point you had a chance to kind of hold them off for a little bit. Some of you right now are making it where like should at least give them their starter minutes and then y'all can come spell them and they can play their way into it. That's what you I'm not trying to be funny. That's what you've done because you had a 20-game lead on these dudes because they were rehabbed and or just getting back in some shape, fashion, form. Talking about Rui and TB because of your current state of affairs and what some of you have done. You've put your minutes in a precarious position. Because before it was like, hey, these guys been here, they know what they're doing, they're playing well. Man, right now, hey, Rui, TB, give me 5. Break. Give me another 5. Break. Give me, like, that's where we're at right now. Especially as the defensive-minded coach, y'all made this easy.
Real easy.
You made it real so easy. You remember, like, let's, again, I am old enough to remember a couple weeks ago, we were like, oh, man, what are we going to do when people come back? Not an issue now.
Nah. Post game, they were saying, TB, can you play Wednesday?
They asked him, what did he say?
He just laughed. Like they not look. Oh, y'all look, man. Yeah, look, go ahead and get back in your spot, dog. You can't do no worse.
Right.
You got an excuse. You out of shape. You winded and stuff.
But like that's the thing, and that's the sad part. Like we laughing, but like that's the thing. The only thing that we know at least what they're gonna bring. The only thing that's a detriment that they bring to the table right now, they can't help. They gotta play to get their win. Like they gotta get back to get back. So, but again, some of y'all made it easy, man. So congratulations. Hope you enjoyed your minutes. And we'll see how things go. But people is roughing their spots because now they don't have to wait. Congratulations. Made it very, very easy, man.
Might be some new assistant coaches.
Boy, some of y'all gonna learn the schemes real well. Be able to tell everybody about them. That's all you'd be looking at. Where do y'all want to go right here? Oh, this one jumped out at me.
Ooh.
Yeah. Anthony Tony. Like I'm sorry, this one just popped at me real quick because I'm already there. Whew. Y'all see it on the screen, so y'all can speak up. I don't even need to read it. This is off the heels.
Some shit up, boy. God dang. Ooh.
Yeah, like the past 2 years kind of a wash because they didn't have an NBA team. But you got some talent around you now, man.
Yeah. It ain't no excuses, man.
Yeah, dog. Like,
It's just like we keep it real on the show, man.
yeah,
What's up,
man.
Brad? But
So I mean, it's a small sample size, 25 games, but
Oh nah,
it ain't looking nowhere near like.
nah,
No, don't stick by it, man. Like it is what it is.
say it with your chest.
Yeah,
Come on, man.
it's looking funny in the light. You can say that. I mean, ain't nobody gonna cuss you out on here. Like, but yeah, I mean, they was talking last year about what they need to do to get Brad to stay, get some people here. They got people, man, and now he got to do his part. Tommy did his part. Brad got to do his now. And it ain't solely on him, but you the best player, you the face of the franchise. So it's people won't be looking at you. So you got to get it done, man. And if he turns it around, great. If he doesn't, then we got to revisit this comment because
Then he ain't a max dude.
Yeah.
Like, let's keep it real. Then and Wilson know this, because Kemba, UConn guy, that's the guy. A lot of people gave Jordan flack because he wouldn't resign Kemba. But Jordan, kind of said, like, if you that dude, you should be able to at least lead us to the playoffs. You know what I'm saying? And put pressure on us to put the pieces around you. Now, look what has happened since then. So, and look where Charlotte is. They on an upswing and stuff like that. Like, look, man, and it's not just he's playing for to lead this team. If you don't lead this team to the playoffs, put yourselves in a GM position across the league, even if he don't want to be here. Let's say somewhere else. Like, look, dog, you want to take a pay cut because you're not a max dude. Max dudes lead us to the playoffs. At least get us to the playoffs. You see what I'm saying? That's what max dudes do. So, look, man, being a guy is tough. It's tough. Like it is what it is. But that's why you get the perks. You get all the billboards. You get the spotlight, and you get the big money. You got to lead, man. You know what I'm saying? And let's be real. Most of his career, he didn't have to deal with that because there was another guy in that spot. And sometimes you don't realize what that other guy's going through until you quite in it, you know what I'm saying? Until you're really in it.
Mm-hmm.
Then you see what it is, you know what I'm saying? Like, nah, if this slide keeps going, he's gonna see the ugly side of DC, and it's not this it gets real. It gets real, man. Like he ain't really seen it. He ain't really seen it because it's more like the front office and management. We was looking at them for a lot of those years, but nah, dog. You look. Add something to Washington football players how I get, dog. They'll tell you. It gets mean around here. So and we mess with Bill, man. He's a dog, but he got to do his part. He got to. You the guy, man.
Look, man. Other people were held to almost an unreachable standard for some stuff that was going on around these parts, and didn't exactly have this stuff around them. And you, again, it was not to go back or whatever. You didn't have to go through what they had to go through while being the guy. In the situation that you're currently in, with the things that they just put around you, like Carnell said, there's something else to it, whether it's here or not. Man, all them folks around the league that that's been gassing and talking and talking about your value and everything else, they looking too, because again, at the end of the day, it's a business. They can get you for a little bit less. Hey man, they're gonna do what they gotta do. Like this the game is the game. And right now there's opportunity, whether it's here or somewhere else. People are watching, sir. And this is like, I think in this day and age we get so quick to call stars or superstars, all this other wild stuff. And I'm not just about Brad, just talking about period. Just to push people to places that maybe they haven't quite gotten to, or maybe they haven't reached or haven't yet earned whatever title it may be, right? And because we pushed them there, then we're shocked, like, oh, they let us down. Like, did they let us down, or did we kind of just do too much? Too quick, or we didn't wait. And like, this is the weird thing for Washington and Real right now, because the extension has not been signed. both part, like it's
That's a part of it. That's
like
real.
yeah.
And the part, like I said from the beginning, you got dudes coming over here that won championship. They made plays at the highest level. You feel like they're buying for a while, but if it start getting shaky, like, no, I'm not gonna keep following what I'm gonna do me. You see what I'm saying? And why am I gonna defer to you? You're not even committed. Like that stuff, all that's in the same pot, dog. All that simmering. You know what I'm saying? It's a lot of things they gotta clean up, man. And it's more than just on the court. You know, they can try to front all we want. We see it. It's in the game. Like you can see it. You know what I'm saying? Like guys not even trying to help each other. You could just see it, bro. And it's just it's tough, man. That's why I keep saying some uncomfortable conversations has to go down. And coaches honestly shouldn't even be in there. Like whatever happens, happens. Look, you gotta square up. It just gotta go down. But let's leave out this meeting better and having an understanding where everybody stand. And let's go out and win some games, dog. Because you see DC ready to be in the arena. DC ready to get behind them, like trying to pump up and stuff. Like they with them. But you gotta give the city something to root for. The city gonna be like, man, when the Mystics play, dog, you know, or Maryland Women's, they hooping. All right, let's go. Let's be like, we got better stuff to do, dog. You see what I'm saying? So let's go see this comedy show, man. Forget that. And then if I were them, I would just stay off the Wizards. I would just stay off social media and radio, TV, because it's gonna get bad.
There's a couple more comments. We don't have to react to them. I'm just gonna put them on the screen.
Ooh.
Followed by y'all are petty tonight.
Y'all gonna make us lose our credentials, though.
No, Bill needs 2 help.
Oh boy. All right. But yeah, look, they got Detroit, right? Oh wow. Kyle Johnson is y'all can't ever say that I'm a bearer of bad news. My man came in here with nothing but heat. Because again, this road trip coming up, they come home, which isn't even a fun home game against for Utah. Then you go out west, where you're gonna go play Utah in Utah after you deal with them on Saturday. And again, that Detroit game looming on Wednesday. You gotta take care of business on Wednesday, man. Like, yeah.
They got the Pistons, Jazz, Nuggets, Kings, Suns, the Jazz again, Brooklyn, the Knicks, Sixers, the Heat, and then the Cavs to close out the month. Damn.
So, hey, look, real quick, that's 5th tonight. And if you don't take care of business, you can come home in 11th. And I'm not being funny. I mean it from the bottom of my heart. If you don't get your stuff together, you're literally, what'd you say, by the end of the month? You gonna mess around. What is it? It's December, right? You gonna mess around and start 2022 looking up at the playing spot if you don't handle your business this month.
Man.
Yeah, we gonna know what it is at the end of this month, man. Hey, Rui and TB, y'all can't come back quick enough, dog. Like do some extra rehab to kind of speed this thing up or something, man.
We appreciate y'all. Oh man.
Hey, he said it. I ain't have to say it.
Appreciate you, all of y'all that tune in. And again, we'll see you guys after next game. Wednesday. We'll keep you guys posted on next game. We're either gonna have a recap like this or in another form, but we'll be back for normal on. We'll be back for sure to normal on Saturday. So just follow us on social media, Focus TV, and we'll keep you guys updated. Have a great evening.